Hey, peace world. Thanks for pressing play. Get right to it, man. This is Bite Down Boxing presented by the Pay Me No Mind Sports and Entertainment Channel. My name is Wood. Another double booked, double book ended. Well, not because it's Sunday, but 2 nights of boxing. We have tonight in Arizona with the Miracle Man, Daniel Jacobs against. I'm not sharp this week, man. Daniel Jacobs against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Mo Hooker is also on that card. Some of the action is on there. I think it's going to be a pretty good card. I really haven't had a chance to get all into it right now. Quick thoughts on Jacobs. I want to see Jacobs look to finish. I want to see the aggression there in the right spots. You're a bigger puncher, a good puncher. Quit. I just want to see you quit accepting like everything going to the scorecards. You drop somebody like Derevianchenko in the first or second round. You cruise for a couple of rounds, and then you box it out. You go in against in the fight of your life against Canelo, and I really don't get the sense that you're really there to inflict punishment. To win. Now, Canelo is a defense his defense has improved. His counter punching is sharp. I get that there's some danger with that, but you're a taller guy, reach advantage, etc., etc. The different advantages that you have, like I'm getting bored with not seeing them being applied the way that I've seen flashes that they could be applied. So here. Chavez Jr. has probably cut some corners. That's why he couldn't make the weight. That's why he had to come off this half of his salary to keep the fight. Make him pay for all of that and act like he disrespected you and the game, and make him pay for that. I want to see Hooker bounce back with a good performance. Moving on to Saturday night, PBC on Fox. The rematch between Detroit's Tony Harrison and Houston's Jermell-Charlo. I disagree with the thought that all this emotion, this animosity, the rift, the rivalry, all of the antics and the theatrics that have been used to sell this fight, I don't see that being much of the story at all until the winner is declared. And then I see that. But other than that, and I'll tell you one reason why I say that. As high-strung and emotionally charged as Jermell is, all of this stuff that Tony Harrison has called him and said, there hasn't really been any. I haven't seen much of any urge to act out on it. So he's very composed. It's part of selling the fight. It's two guys who may have been mid-level guys who, with all this extra stuff to it, it's elevated this up this much higher. There's also this WBC belt that's, hanging in the balance. But I think simple things, money-wise, if I had to put some money on it, I probably would side with Jermell to get the victory. I don't think he needs to change a whole lot. I think I'm more confident that he can add the couple of things that he needs to add to be victorious versus Harrison. Because Harrison was able to be comfortable. That's the whole thing here. Just make Harrison uncomfortable and make him uncomfortable late. Quit all the posing and the watching and keep your hands busy. Stay smart. Attack, try to create big moments in at least 7 to 8 rounds. Mix in some body work. And find a way to speed him up. I know he caught Jermell coming in a couple times and, stunning briefly or, made his legs buckle a little bit, caught him coming in. Okay, but you're gonna have to accept that. That's a part of boxing. But and Tony was getting guys out of there early on in his record. Since he's been up, against the elite and the best in the division, we haven't seen the knockouts. But like I said, he probably has a good punch, but you have to, it's boxing, you get hit. Take that and get in there and do what you need to do to make it happen. Conversely, on the other side of it, I just think Tony's gonna have to be more. It took some good interpretation of the scoring criteria, and to tolerate, his patience in the ring and all the subtle stuff that he was doing. I don't think that works 2 times in a row. I think he's gonna have to be more assertive at times. There's gonna have to be, sometimes in fights, man, you gotta go in and punish a guy for 25 seconds, 30 seconds. You have to have a one-sided, a completely dominant round. There needs to be that time when the referee watches somebody closely, follows a guy back to his corner, checks in with the guy. A lot of times, you're going to need those types of things to occur in the fight to get the victory. You're not just going to be able to sit there and comfortably, go 12 rounds and pick shots off, parry stuff, jab here, that's not always going to work. And then I think it's almost like I wanted to say a couple weeks ago, I don't know who, the Patriots, I thought, maybe against the Cowboys. It was somebody that they played. Even in basketball, it happens all the time. You go and tell the referees ahead of time, hey, they do this. Watch this pick play. Watch how they do this block right here. But something in the NFL a couple weeks ago, the Patriots, I thought, were the team that said something that another team does, and then 3 penalties were called in the game, and it's a penalty that's rarely ever called in the NFL. But, in between the finals games, coaches say certain things to the referees, what's going on, and then you see a LeBron James get 4 or 5 fouls in the game when he rarely gets more than 3. So what I'm saying here, I think all of the frustration or the concern or the debate has happened about who actually won the first fight. And, the old adage out there that you have to take the belt from the champion or you have to beat the champion. I just think it's been enough talk about this that the standards are going to be a little different for how these rounds will be divvied up and judged. Obviously, it's on the opposite coast. It's in Ontario, California. And like I said, I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to be emotionally driven or impacted by that. I think fighters tend to put that stuff aside. Even with Brazil and Wilder, you saw Brazil get up underneath Wilder's skin a little bit, and Wilder went in there and calm and collected, and laid him smooth out. So it's a thinking man's game, and I think Jermell thinks highly of himself. You saw when he was critiquing the fight, doing the commentary on the fight, referring to himself as the best fighter in the world and so on and so forth. I think he is the lesser talented of the 2 brothers, and that doesn't mean that he's dwarfed by Jamal's talent, but he definitely doesn't seem to do things as naturally well as his older brother. But I think, like I said, I have a little bit more confidence in him being able to figure out how to add a couple of details here and there to enhance his chance of getting a decision. In terms of the knockout, which he said he wants to do, we've seen Tony, stop before. So I think it's going to be a pretty good fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. Wouldn't be mad if Tony proved, like I said, I'm always out there for the underdog. So it would be great if he stepped forward and all the stuff that he said the last few weeks. He also disappointed me a little bit with this injury situation that postponed the fight. So that's that. Again, bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Have a phenomenal weekend. Peace.